So welcome everybody. And we're sitting up on a block or a blanket, and our feet are hugging the block or blanket to the sides, toes pressing into the earth. So let's take our hands, and let's take your right hand to the knee and pull the skin up to help reduce tension in the knees and thighs, and do that on the left side too. Wonderful. So open up our hands, open up our hearts. Let's bring our hands in front of our hearts, and we're going to open with one Om. Let's take a deep breath in. Softening our heads towards our heart for a soft bow. Connecting to our heart space. Set an intention for yourself. Set an intention that connects you to your heart space. Breathe it into your whole back body, to your energetic heart. And exhale it out to the world. Release your hands to your thighs. Beautiful. So we're going to do a little bit of Ujjayi breath. And I know a lot of you know how to do Ujjayi breath, and some of you are new to it. And there's always some subtle things that you can learn with Ujjayi breath each time. So when we sit up on our block or blanket like this, it helps to create more length in our upper body. So let's bring our arms up, shoulders up and back. And we lift in the armpits here as we bring our shoulder blades onto our back. Draw your elbows back, lifting in the heart. Iyengar, who's one of the fathers of yoga, said that when we lift our shoulders up and we open up this space in our armpit area, it helps to open up the ribs and create space for the lungs. So then he said you can never be depressed because you can breathe in the prana, breathe in the life. So we're going to inhale, take a deep inhale and draw the shoulder blades onto the back, lifting the heart. Exhale, bring your hands together and chin together. Pull your navel in for a complete exhale. Inhale, lift the heart, open up the elbows. Breathe in through the nose here. Exhale through the mouth as we come forward. Complete exhale. Pull the navel in, chin to the chest, bowing forward. Blow it out. Inhale through the nose here, opening up the elbows, opening up the heart. Exhale, draw the navel in, blow it out through the mouth like you're blowing out candles. One more time. Inhale, open up the chest and the elbows. Exhale, hands together, blow it out, bowing forward. Inhale, come back to center. Let's place our hands on the thighs. And now we're going to do some Ujjayi breath. So let's open up the palms to the sky. And we're going to breathe in through the nose and also out through the nose. And with the Ujjayi breath, there is a toning of the back of the throat. So to help to get the toning of the back of the throat, we're going to gently drop our chin down. And we're going to keep our chin softly down as we inhale and bring the arms up overhead. So breathe through the nose. See if you can feel the toning in the back of the throat like an ocean breath. Now we're going to exhale the same way. Keep the chin down. Exhale with the hands down. So we're going to take a couple of breaths like this. Inhale, palms to the sky. Exhale it out through the nose. Pull the navel in. We'll take a couple more rounds. Inhale. Exhale long, pull the navel in. Beautiful. Inhale. Interlace the hands and exhale, round forward. Inhale up. Try to stick with the Ujjayi breath if possible. Exhale, round forward. Pull the navel in. Inhale up. Exhale the hands down. Take your hands to your knees. And we're going to inhale, pull the belly forward. We're going to do a seated cat and cow. Exhale, pull the navel in, chin to chest. Inhale, expand in the heart space. Exhale, pull the navel in. Pull the hands on the knees. One last round, inhale. Exhale, chin to chest. Stay here, chin to chest, and take a couple of breaths here. With the chin to the chest still, and the navel pulling, keep the navel toned as you inhale and exhale slowly. So we're going to inhale for a count of 5 and exhale for the count of 5 for a couple of rounds in this position. So inhale for 5, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale for 5, 2, 3, 4, 5. So do it in your own rhythm now, counting to yourself. You might want to make it longer or shorter for a couple more rounds. Finishing with the last inhale and exhale. And let it come up. Keep your eyes closed. And just notice how you feel inside. If you feel a little more quiet, does the mind feel a little more quiet? Hippocrates said, harmony comes from joining together the disconnected. Harmony comes from joining together the disconnected. So I invite you to meet yourself where you're at right now. Meeting ourselves unconditionally where we're at. Accepting ourselves unconditionally right now. That connects us to our center, which connects us to our power, which is our love. Opening up the hands. Now let's bring the hands up overhead. Deep inhale. You can open up your eyes. Take your right hand to the left wrist and let's stretch over to the right. Deep inhale. And exhale, bow forward, pulling the navel in. Come back up with an inhale. And let's do the other side. Left hand to the right hand. Inhale up. Exhale, bow forward. Come back up. And let's release the hands. So I invite you to continue to come back to your breath throughout the practice. Let's inhale the left hand up, over to the right side. When you find your mind wandering, come back to the breath and allow it to draw you back to your center, accepting yourself in this moment. Now let's round forward. Inhale, come up. And let's the other side. Inhale, right hand up. Exhale over to the left. Big stretch on the whole right side. Breathe into your right ribs. Deep inhale and exhale, round forward. Inhale back to center, and let's come back. So let's come onto our knees. Knees are about hip width apart. Extend the right leg out. Take your right hand to the right side. Inhale, left hand up. Exhale, over to the right. Keep breathing, connecting to your breath. And now we're going to round forward again, bringing that stretch into our lower back and the whole left side of the body. Inhale, back up to center. Now let's come to the other side. Right knee in, left leg out. Left hand down to the left leg. Inhale, right hand up. Exhale, over. Breathe into your right ribs here. You can gaze forward or maybe you gently gaze upwards. Deep inhale. And then exhale, taking it forward, rounding forward, bringing the stretch into your lower back here. And breathe. Inhale, back to center. Deep inhale, and let's come back. And let's come to the other side again. Extend the right leg out. This time, come on to your heel. And toes flexed up to the sky. And curl the back toes under as we sit back onto our back heel. Take your right hand to the right leg. So you may need to have your left hand in front of you, or if you can, stretch it over towards the right. And now walk the hands forward. Inhale, lengthening, keep the right foot flexed. Inhale, lengthen, and exhale, just bow forward softly. Inhale up, and let's switch sides. Let's bring the right leg in. So I have my toes curled under, that helps with balance, and extend the left leg out. So on the heel, if you need to keep the foot flat for balance, you can do that. Or you can come onto the heel, toes curled up. And if you need to take your hand to the floor in front of you, do that for balance. You can even have your block here, and that can help you. Or you can take your hand to the leg, inhale, right leg, right hand up, and exhale over towards the left. And let's come down, bring the sit bone onto the back of the heel, and we'll round forward. Beautiful. So let's take the block to the side. And we're going to come right onto our buttocks here. And we're going to do a couple of core strengthening postures, and then we'll end up on our back. So coming to our core physically is also energetically coming and connecting to our center. So let's bring our hands behind the thighs. Draw shoulder blades up and back. Now lift the legs and hug the thighs together. Release the hands if possible, or you can keep your hands by your thighs. So whether you release the hands or keep them on the thighs, you're going to open up, lift the heart up, and then exhale, extend the legs and bring the hands in. And now let's come back. So if you have your hands on the thighs, you can go push out like this if that's better for you, and come back in like this. So let's do this again. Shoulders up and back. Lift from the heart. Open up the hands. Hug the legs together like they're glued together. Hugging to the midline. Hugging to that goodness within you. And extend out and come back in. And we'll do that one more time. Lift up. Open up hands. Hug the thighs together. So you can keep the legs like this, or if you want to straighten the legs, you can straighten the legs. Yogi's choice. open up. And then we're going to bring everything to the midline. And we're going to hover, 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 and release to the earth. Release down to the earth. I'm going to take the right leg, extend it up to the sky, and stretch the foot to the sky and clasp your hands behind the thigh. Pull the knee in, and then bring it over to the right side. And we're going to take the strap or your belt, whatever you got, and place it underneath your foot here. Press the foot up to the sky. Draw the knee in towards the right. You can pull on the strap. Take a breath here and breathe. The extended leg, the other leg, it can be extended, or you can have the knee bent if that feels best for your back. So inhale, drawing the knee towards the earth. Now opening up the leg slowly towards the right. Press the foot into the strap and push it away, straightening that leg the best you can. Hugging the muscles above the knee. And breathe into the back of your whole right leg here. Deep inhale. Use your Ujjayi breath to breathe. Direct the breath into the back of the leg. Exhale. Exhale long. Releasing. Opening. Expanding. Bring the leg back to center. I'm going to bend the knee again. Draw the knee towards the earth here. Straighten the leg. And you're going to take the strap in your left hand. I want you to take your right hand, gently press on top of the right thigh as it crosses over the body. And breathe. Deep inhale. Long exhale. Wherever you direct your breath with your intention, that's where the breath goes. It helps to open up the space. So breathe into your whole right hip. Exhale, and let's release. Hold the leg again. So bend the knee slightly and press the foot up to the sky. Hug muscles above the knee here, drawing the leg towards you. Take another breath, breathing into the whole back of the leg here. Firm muscles. You can check it with your hand. And release the leg to the earth. So place your hands on your belly and just notice your right side from your left side. I like to do these postures at the beginning of class sometimes and compare the two sides. It's quite noticeable. Not only do I feel openness in the body, but also energetically. Notice how you feel energetically from one side to the other. My left side feels like a crumpled piece of paper. And the right side feels nice and long and fluid. So it's a great example of what our yoga practice, the breath. We're opening up muscles and energetically the fascia, which wraps around our muscles, is warming up. So let's grab the left knee and draw it into the chest. Moving with the breath. Deep inhale. Exhale. Extend the left leg up to the sky. Clasp the hands behind the thigh here. Flex your toes towards you. So we're hugging the muscle, the bone, hugging to our core, hugging to our center. The center, which is where we find our steadiness, our power, which is our love. So let's take the strap underneath the foot. Stretch the foot up to the sky. And now pull the knee in towards your left shoulder. And again, this right leg can be extended, or you can bend it if that's better for your lower back. pulling the left knee in. So now rotate your toes towards the left, press the foot into the strap and open up the left leg, pushing the strap away. You can gaze over to your right side if you like. Keep the muscles firm in the leg. Drawing the leg back to center. Let's bend the knee here. Inhale, press the leg up to the sky again. Switch hands. Now I'm going to take your left hand, just gently laying it on top of the thigh, creating some space here for the hip flexor. Crossing over your body, and just go as far over your body as it feels good. If you get into this, painful stretch, don't go any further. Soften. And then you can gaze over the other side if you like, the opposite shoulder, and breathe. Inhale the leg back to center. So you're gonna muscle the bone here, press the foot into the strap, bend the knee here a little bit, and then press the foot into the strap again, maybe stretching and opening up a little more in the back of the leg. Breathe into the back of your leg. Deep inhale. Exhale, release that leg to the earth. Place your right hand on the belly, left hand on your heart. Notice the difference from one side to the other. I love what Hippocrates said about creating harmony. It's connecting all the disconnected pieces. So gathering all of your disconnected pieces, your disconnected thoughts and feelings. Bring them all to the center of your being, to your heart space, your energetic heart space, your spiritual heart, where you have the capacity to love and accept unconditionally, seeing things through the eye of your heart, through the view. And see if you can see yourself in a new way today. The heart has so many different facets, like a gem. So in the next breath, we're going to take a deep inhale and draw all the way to our lower belly. So you feel your hand lift. We're going to do a 3-part breath to the lower belly, then to the middle of the lungs, then all the way to the top of the lungs. So you feel your top hand lift. Then you're going to exhale long, pulling the navel in. Another deep inhale. We're going to do it for the count of 7. Inhale to the bottom, middle to the top. And then you're going to exhale long. So you can either count, or maybe you want to say a mantra to yourself. You're going to do a couple more rounds, counting to yourself. Or maybe the mantra I like to use is Om Namah Shivaya. You could breathe in Om Namah Shivaya from the bottom of the breath, middle and all the way to the top. Exhale Om Namah Shivaya to yourself. Breathe out through the nose. Do a couple more rounds, making the inhale and the exhale as even as possible, and elongating the breath. The breath helps to pull all of our disconnected parts together, drawing us to our center. So let's inhale and bend our knees. Bring the heels towards your hips And we're going to do a couple of bridge postures. Right shoulder under, left shoulder under, lift hips. Clasp your hands behind your back, interlace your fingers. Let's do the right shoulder, left shoulder under again. So you want your feet to be hip width apart. Don't let your knees open wide. Bring them in so that they're parallel. Then inhale, lift the hips and expand in the chest. Back of the head presses into the earth. From the head, the back of the throat to the heart space, expand down into the pelvis, and the energy moves through the knees and then into the earth. Now keep the openness and fullness in the chest as you release. Release the hips to your hands. Take a breath here. And inhale, we're going to lift the hips again. Lift. Now draw the tailbone down and in, like you're tucking a tail between your legs. Inhale, expand in the heart. Exhale, release the hips to the hands. Keep the fullness of the chest. Beautiful. One more time. Inhale, lift in the heart. Lift the hips and expand. Exhale, release hands and bring hips to the earth. We're going to lift the knees, lift the legs, expand the arms out like a T, and then bring the knees over to the right. They're going to hover and gaze over to the left. So the legs don't touch the earth here. Inhale up, lift the hips, bring them over to the right, and let the knees hover to the opposite side and gaze to the opposite shoulder. Try to keep both shoulders on the earth. Beautiful. Hugging everything to the core, hugging to our goodness. Now bring the legs over to the right. If you can extend the legs out towards your right hand, do so. Bring the legs back. You can pop the hips over to the right here. Now let the knees come over to the left. Hover, hug to the midline. If you want to extend the legs out, you can. Stretch them out. Beautiful. Bend the knees, come back to center. And release the legs. Clasp the hands behind the thighs, cross the knees. We're going to rock out. So let's come to all fours. So coming to all fours, palms press into the earth. Bring your knees a little behind the hips now. And we're going to come up to a downward facing dog. Come up high in the toes, bend the knees. Now lift the chin, gaze in between the hands. Take a deep inhale, expand in the back body. Exhale, push your hands into the earth. Active hands, bring your head in between your arms. Knees are bent, hips move up to the sky. Deep inhale to the back body. Exhale, long, pushing the hips up to the sky. Now let's release the right heel down and then the left as we walk the dog. It's going back and forth, right to left, and then walk your feet towards your hands. And then we're going to bend the knees as we squat. Inhale, gaze forward. Exhale. So you may want a block here to place your hands on the block and bow forward. And let's sit back onto our heels. Gaze forward. Inhale here. And now exhale. We're going to bow forward for a forward bow. One more time. Inhale. And let's come back. And remove the block to the side. And you can either step or jump back to a plank. Bring your knees to the earth and lower down to the earth. Interlace hands behind your back. We'll shoulder blades up and back. We'll come to a Shalabhasana. Lift legs and extend from the heart out to the crown of the head, pelvis out through the toes. And release down to the earth. So press hands into the earth and come into like a cobra. Place the right hand in front so it's parallel with the front of your mat, and bring the back leg in. You're going to take the left hand to your left foot. Thumb up to the sky. Bring your hand inside of the foot, pulling the heel towards you. And then maybe your hand can pivot on top of the heel and gaze forward here. Drawing the heel a little more in, if possible, opening up the front of your thigh here. Lengthening from the heart out to the crown of the head. And release. Let's come to the other side. Bend the opposite leg. Again, thumb up to the sky, grab the inside of the foot, and then draw the heel towards you. So if you can pivot your hand on top of the foot. Just draw this right shoulder up and back. And gaze forward. From the heart, lengthen up. And breathe. Deep inhale, long exhale. Stay here for 2 more breaths. Beautiful. And let's release. Come down to the earth. We're going to push back to a puppy posture now. Walk fingertips out. Shoulders towards the ears. Lift the chin. And now bring forehead to the earth. Stay on your fingertips, walking your fingertips out like spiders, lengthening through your spine. Beautiful. Hands will come onto all fours again. We're going to come up to a downward facing dog. And extend the top leg up. The right leg to the sky. And let's bring it in for a pigeon. And I like to use a blanket. So let's use a blanket for the right side of our hip here. So to help balance our pelvis. So you have the blanket under your right sit bone. The back leg, let's curl the toes under. Take your left hand, thumb up, and take it through the inside of your thigh, rotate the inside of the thigh up. So we help to level our pelvis here. Walk the hands back. So you'll come to the best possibility for yourself today. Taking care of yourself. Coming to your center by taking care of yourself, being true to you. Inhale, draw knees towards each other like scissors, strengthening this pelvic floor. We're going to go back and forth, up and down, pulling the knees together like scissors. And if you can bring the hands up overhead, draw knees together, lift and lengthen up overhead. Expand out from the heart out to the fingertips. And let's bring the hands down to the earth here. You can rock back and forth if that feels good for you. So you can have elbows on a block here, like this. Maybe hands. You can come to the best option for yourself, or maybe you come further to the floor. And breathe. So let's walk our hands over to the left. Downward facing dog hands. Spread the fingers. So we're going to root our right sit bone into the blanket here. As we press hands into the earth. Deep inhale into the back body. Exhale, draw chin to the chest and pull the navel in. And root your right sit bone towards the blanket here. And then take a couple of breaths, staying in this position. With the back slightly arching, chin towards the chest here. It's not a real strong chin to the chest. It's a bowing inward, and breathe. You can connect to your Ujjayi breath here. And your right hip is rooting into the blanket towards the earth. So you can stay here, or you can come to the earth now. And bow forward, moving a little deeper into the posture. hands. Walk the hands back. So let's bring this back leg forward. And we'll come into a Dandasana. Take the strap to the bottom of your feet. And we'll lengthen through our spine. Shoulders up and back. Inhale, lengthen up. Exhale, hinging from the hips, pulling the heart forward here. So we're hinging from the hips, pulling heart forward. Now hug muscle to bone. Make the legs firm, firm knees. And release the strap. We'll come back to downward facing dog. All fours, downward facing dog. Lift the left leg up to the sky now. And bring the knee in for pigeon prep. And you're going to take your blanket to the left side now of your left hip. So you're going to root your left hip onto the blanket here. So back toes curling under. Take your hand of the inside of the thigh and rotate the inside of the thigh towards the sky. So leveling your hips here. Now we're going to hug the knees in towards each other like scissors. Walking hands back if you can. So up and back. Bringing the knees towards each other. And now if you can hug them in towards each other and lift up towards the sky. Reaching from the heart out to the fingertips. And now we'll come down to the earth. Stay here for a couple of breaths. Deep inhale to the back body. Exhale, softening in hips, releasing and softening to the earth. Inhale, connecting. Connecting to your center. Connecting to your stillness. Exhaling. And letting go. Letting go of tension that you might be holding. Any thoughts that don't serve you. Breathe it out. Breathe it out into the earth. The next breath, press your hands into the earth. And we're going to do our downward facing dogs in the arms in the opposite side. So spread fingers, hands press. So we're pressing firmly into the earth. We're pushing the earth away from us. This left sit bone is rooting into the blanket here. So take a deep inhale, breathe into the back body. And now exhale, round forward, chin to chest. Creating an arch in the back. And this left outer hip is rooting more into the earth here. Now you're going to stay here, and the chin is coming towards the chest. This is actually a Jalandhara Bandha. You're going to keep this as you continue to breathe. So with the chin forward, this naturally creates an Ujjayi type breath, a toning of the throat. And also as we root the hip, then we root the sit, and we root the tailbone, we create a Mula Bandha. So these locks help to contain our energy and build our energy energetically in our throat chakra and in our root chakra. So now let's release to the earth. You can take forehead maybe to the hands, or maybe you take your head to a block. Take a couple more breaths here. And let it all go. Press hands into the earth. Walk back up. So let's swing this back leg around. And we're going to come now into a Badakanasana. So bringing feet together. Taking hands behind you. So here in Badakanasana, if you find that you are arching forward like this, then you can either use your blanket or a block to prop up your sit bones, and that will help to create more length in your spine. And then bring feet together. Let's walk the hands behind us. Press feet into each other. Lift the heart. Deep inhale. Exhale long and press the feet and feel the energy move from the core out to the knees. So now let's take the right leg, open it up to the right side, pull the left foot in. So you can take your strap here, place it around your right foot, hold it in your left hand. So again, you can continue to use your blanket to lift your sit bones up if that helps to create more length in the spine. Feel free to do that. Lengthening up, take your right hand over to the right side. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, from the heart, lengthening forward. Inhale, lengthening. From the heart, lengthening forward. Hug muscle the bone here. Come up, take right hand to your left knee. Keep this right leg active as you twist, gaze over to the left. You can stay here or plant the left hand into the earth and come into a modified wild thing. And we'll come back. So bring your right foot in and your left leg out. Let's the opposite side. Strap around the left foot here. So you're going to take the right hand to your left, to the strap, left hand to the side. Inhale, lengthen up from the pelvis, heart, crown of the head. Find your core, find your center. Find your breath. Exhale, hinge forward from the heart. Heart is leading. Hug muscle the bone in the leg. This is your stability. Take a couple of breaths here. Deep inhale, long exhale, reaching forward with the heart. And now let's take the right hand behind us, left hand to the left knee and twist. Back leg is active. So you could stay here with the twist or plant your hand into the earth. Inhale, we'll reach up and come into a modified wild thing. Beautiful. Come back. Let's come back to a Badakanasana. Feet together. Hands come behind you. Remember, lift your hips up with a blanket or block if you need. Hands behind you. You can scoot the hips maybe a little closer to your feet. Feet press into each other. Good. Open up in the heart and chest here and connect to your center. Now, as your feet press into each other, you're hugging to your midline. You're connecting to your core. Pulling all of the pieces of yourself together. This is what yoga is about, union. Uniting all of those disconnected pieces of ourselves. Pulling them into the center of our being, to our heart space, and fully embracing ourselves just as we are right now. Breathing out the thoughts, breathing in full acceptance and love. Breathing out the thoughts. Breathing in unconditional acceptance and love. Beautiful. Extend the right leg out. So let's do a little inner spiral this time. Let's take the whole right thigh, spiral. You're going to grab the inside of the thigh and the right buttocks, pull it out, left foot in. You're going to take the strap again to your right foot. Strap in the left hand, hand over to the right side. Inhale, lengthening. Remember, strong thighs, hug. Give yourself a hug, a big hug, hugging to all that is good within you. And we're going to lengthen forward. So this time, we're going to go a little deeper. So you can either keep your hand on your strap or take your left hand, grab the outside of your right foot. And if possible, take your right hand and grab the inside of your foot. So you could be here, or you can take the strap with both of your hands. Lift the elbows, lengthen forward. Now we're going to round forward, bowing forward. Wherever you land, let that be perfect. Maybe forehead comes to the knee. Wherever you're at, stay there, and let's take a couple of breaths. Deep inhale, long exhale. Keep the thigh muscle nice and strong and committed. And rise up. Bow forward, strong leg. The more you hug to the core, the more integrity you create. Let's take our hands to our thighs. Root the thighs into the earth here. And now bow forward. You can round forward. Come up. Other side. Bring the right foot in, left leg out. So let's inner spiral this whole left leg, pull the whole left buttocks out, and you're going to take your strap and place it around your foot. Inhale, lengthening. And again, you may hold on to the strap here, lift elbows, and round forward, or take your right hand outside of the left foot. And the other hand, we're going to cross arms over, lift elbows, and then pull yourself forward. Maybe head comes to the knee, maybe not. Wherever you're at, be where you're at. Breathe into the space behind the heart. Breathe into the center of your being. Accepting fully where you're at. Exhaling, softening. Inhale, expanding. One more deep inhale and exhale. And rise up. So we're going to take our hands to our thighs here. Root the thighs into the earth. Connect. Connect to your energy. Round forward, bow forward. Come up. Bring the left leg in. And we'll come to a Badakanasana. Feet together, hands behind. Pull the hips, lift and come forward. So you have an option here. Maybe you're going to stay here. Maybe you want to bring your hands forward and grab your toes. Maybe you want to pull yourself forward. Wherever you're at, be there, and we'll take 2 deep inhales and long exhales. And rise up. Bring the knees together. Come onto your backs. Extend the legs out. So let's bring arms overhead, reach up to the sky, bend the knees. Take your right heel on top of your left knee and let the knees fall over to the right. Your right hand is going to grab your left wrist and stretch your left wrist over to the right. So there's a deep opening here. This in the lower body, you might feel deep opening inside the abdomen. This is your psoas. Your psoas can tighten up, with tension, either from emotional tension or physical tension from sitting or standing a lot. So let's just breathe into the stretch. It's a pretty deep one. And if you want, you can even take your right heel and press it into the top of your left knee and keep your left knee firm. And that will even move a little deeper into your whole left side and deeper into the psoas there. So let's take another deep inhale, long exhale. You can blow it out through your mouth like birthday candles. Breathe in light. Exhale and let go. Like you're blowing out smoke. One more deep inhale, long exhale. And let's bring the knees back to center. Pull the knees into the chest. Rock back and forth a little bit. It's a very deep opening. Hug knees to the chest, feet to the earth. Now take your left heel on top of the right knee. Let them fall over to the side. Arms are extended overhead. You're going to take your left hand to your right wrist and stretch over to the left for a big opening on the whole right side. You can feel it in the ribs. And now connect with your left heel pressing on top of your right knee. And maybe you press it into the knee a little more to create a little deeper opening if that feels right for you. And breathe into the whole right side here. We'll take a couple of breaths. Deep inhales, breathing in light. Blowing it out like smoke. Being gentle. And exhaling, letting it go. Let's come back to center. Let's take our hands to the knees and rock our knees back and forth a little bit. Lower back, a little massage on the lower back. Open up knees wide and we'll come into a happy baby pose. Grab on the outside of your feet, drawing the knees to the earth. Exhaling, softening tailbone towards the earth. Blowing it out. And we're going to take the legs. Let's take the feet and let's roll over to the side. We're going to come up and take a blanket. And going to roll our blanket up. Like a roll like this. And that's going to go in between the shoulder blades, the spine, from just the bottom of the spine all the way. My head is even on it. And you're going to rest your whole spine on the roll. This goes right to the bottom of my head to my neck. That's what feels good to me, but see what feels good to you. And as you do this, the shoulders open to the side, the heart space opens, and then the hands open. And then the feet fall over to the side. So you don't want to have this under your sacrum or tailbone. You want to have it from like the waist on up. So if you need to make any final adjustments, make that, because you want to be comfortable. We're going to stay here for a couple minutes in our Shavasana. Making any final last adjustments. So you can come to a total relaxation. Drawing the breath in through the feet, all the way up the legs, to the pelvis, up through the heart, through the crown of the head, and exhale. Release the whole body, heavy into the earth. Exhaling whatever doesn't serve you, just let it go. Breathe it out. And we'll stay here for another couple minutes. Each breath drawing you deeper inside to your center, connecting to your source. Next inhale, let's bend our knees. Gently rolling over to one side. We're going to meet in a seated posture. Connecting to our stillness, connecting to our center. Feel rooted in the sit bones. You can press your thighs into the earth. Inhale, lengthen all the way up to the crown of the head. Feel the expansiveness in your body. Exhale, softening the skin. Soften the hands on your thighs or in your lap. Allowing every breath to draw you deeper inside, connecting to your center, connecting all the parts of yourself in total stillness in the center of your being. We'll stay here for a minute. the stillness of our heart, we remember who we are. It just takes a moment. Opening up our hands and our hearts. Bring our hands in front of our hearts into Anjali Mudra. Softly bowing our heads. Thanking ourselves for taking this moment to connecting all of our parts, bringing ourselves to center, to the core of our being, and honoring each other. We'll take a deep breath in and chant one Om. Inhale. From the center of my heart to yours, namaste. Thank you, everybody, for joining today. Is it not working at all? Can you hear me? No? You can? Is it no sound? A little bit, okay.